fourth day, and again two wonderful speakers are there. So I'm sure you will be enlightened because both are coming with very prestigious part of world. One is coming is from industry background and one is coming with very reputed organization background. Common, both are engineer. So logical thinking is very powerful. Right now I will not take more time. Today I'll request both the sir to go with 40 minutes from now. I mean, you will get, sir, some indication before 10 minutes so you can get the idea that, because tomorrow our schedule was a bit disturbed, so we don't want to repeat the history. So 40 minutes, Prerak sir would be there, and then after Deval sir would be there. I'll give right now short introduction and I'll request Prerak sir to start his story. Prerak sir, Executive Director and Joint CEO, Dev IT Limited. He is going to talk about project management in IT. Detailed introduction when you will go to ask the questions in that part will give. And he is with core IT industry where some of you will be placed in future, maybe after 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever is your program. And second speaker, that is Deval Mehta sir. He is with, he is Group Director, Navigation Technology and Application, and the institute name, that is SAC, Space Application Center, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Many of you might have heard repeatedly one name in Ahmedabad, Gujarat and India, that is Statue of Unity. If I have to give a suggestion to Chief Minister or Prime Minister of India or Chief Minister of Gujarat, then I would say there is a need of statue of institution builder. And that name is Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. This is Sardar Patel. Day before yesterday, I have shared a story about him. That when I interviewed Mool Shankar Bhatt, he was personal secretary to Sardar Patel. But I have also observed many campuses where Vikram Sarabhai is connected, and he has developed ATIRA, he has developed NID, he has developed PRL, VAS, CSC, Vikram A. Sarabhai Community Science Center, and many more. IIM Ahmedabad is there in Ahmedabad, otherwise it was supposed to be there in Bombay, if you will read the history of IIM Ahmedabad. So that credit also goes to Vikram Sarabhai, and ISRO is also the same campus. So we invite both the speakers with warm welcome in Shrey IT Festival organized by Shreyarth University. And I would request straight away to save our time, Prerak sir to go with his area, that is project management in IT. And in informal talk, he talked to me that this is also very important for the students of management. So try to take important notes, get ready with the question at last after both the speakers' talk will be over. Please welcome Prerak sir.
Good morning, everyone. સવારની ચા પાણી થઈ ગયા છે? ઊંઘ આવે છે? Good. That's good to know. So when Jairaj called me, the reason I'm taking liberty to call Jairaj and no other thing in front, no other felicitation. Jairaj મને ફોન કર્યો few days back that we are doing this festival, IT festival, Shrey IT festival, and we would like you to be as a speaker and this and that. We started talking kaya topic છે શું નહીં વગેરે વગેરે. And then he was asking, Jairaj being Jairaj, being audio sound, and એકદમ અવાજ બી ઓળખી શકે. મને કે તમે કઈ સ્કૂલમાં ભણ્યા હતા? So I said, I was in CN. CN ના વિદ્યાર્થી છો? મેં કીધું yeah. તો કે કઈ બેચ? કે તમારો વોઇસ બહુ ફેમિલિયર લાગે છે. હવે મને વોઇસથી તો ખબર નહોતી પડી, બટ જયરાજ પંડ્યા નેમ આઈ ન્યૂ ઓનલી વન પર્સન ઇન માય લાઈફ ટિલ ડેટ, એન્ડ આઈ વોઝ ઓલ્સો વન્ડરિંગ ઇન માય માઇન્ડ કે દુનિયામાં કેટલા જયરાજ પંડ્યા હશે, બિકોઝ એઝ યુનિક એઝ હી વોઝ, આઈ વોઝ થિંકિંગ અબાઉટ ઇટ. So as soon as he said, તમે સીએનમાં ભણ્યા હતા ને તમારો વોઇસ ફેમિલિયર લાગે, જયરાજ તમારું સિનિયર થાય. So he happens to be 2 years senior to me from school days. So that એ આત્મીયતા છે એટલે જયરાજ કરીને હું બોલાવી દઉં છું. Otherwise, amazing merit and credit to the fellow and, the provost sir. જે રીતે શ્રેયાર્થને આગળ વધારી રહ્યા છે. The concept of packing so much in this 1 week for all of you, right? આ દરેકે દરેક જે ટોપિક આ તમારા 5 દિવસના પ્રોગ્રામમાં એમણે મૂકેલા છે ને, those all could be individually masters curriculum, right? એટલે એક દ્રષ્ટિ વિચારતા એવું પણ થાય કે why, how can you do justice to such a wide and diverse topic in a 1 week's time, 40 minutes each, right? કે ભાઈ, what to say, where to start and where to end. બલબલા માધાનતાઓ બી ખોવાઈ જાય. But the crux of the matter is that, the purpose and concept behind is, it is a great introduction to all of you of all these industry buzzwords and jargons that you might be hearing out and around, right? કે ભાઈ, what it is. એમણે ખાલી બોટલ આડી જ કરી છે, નજર બોટલ પર ના આવવી જોઈએ, નજર અહીંયા આવવી જોઈએ કે અહીંયા આવવી જોઈએ. વિદ્યાર્થીઓ, I was looking that you all were getting distracted by this kind of thing. Please don't. This is lesson number 1 I would leave for you, right? Okay, your focus should be on a subject. તો આવા 5 દિવસમાં 10 important topic આયા. You all are here in the morning at 9 AM, which is amazing. બલબલા પ્રોફેશનલ અત્યારે ઉઠીને 9 વાગે જોબ પર પહોંચી શકતા નથી. And you all are here, so I am very proud of you, very happy. But now that you are here, please make sure that you pay attention to what is being taught. 10 ટોપિક 10 કરિયર ઓપ્શન બની શકે એમ છે. તમારો ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ તમને કઈ બાજુ લઈ જશે એક વસ્તુ છે, પણ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટની પાછળની મહેનત તમને બહુ આગળ લઈ જશે. So, on behalf of all 10 faculty, 6 that have come before, 2 that are here today, and 2 that will be here tomorrow, my genuine request to all of you to pay attention to these topics, go home, explore, research what that means. આ ખાલી આપણે એક ક્રેડિટ લેવા માટે કે ટીક માર્ક કરવા માટે ટોપિક અટેન્ડ નથી કરતા. કોલેજ દિવસોમાં આ બહુ ધ્યાન રાખવાની જરૂર હોય છે. This is a roadmap for you. Use it, explore it, exploit it, and decide where you want to go. તો આ લોકોના બધા જે શ્રેયાર્થ યુનિવર્સિટીના પ્રયત્નો છે તમને એક માર્ગદર્શન આપવાના, એ સફળ થશે. It is your interest that will matter. So please make a note of it, okay? Now, little bit about me, Prerak Shah. I am computer engineer, as Jairaj said. LD pass out, 1994 batch. From then, I went to US for my higher studies, did my master's in computer science. Bachelor's was also in computer engineering. Master's was in also computer science. Worked there for about 10 years, 11 years, total 14 years in US. Came back to India in 2009 and became part of a company, Dev IT, which is a public listed IT services company based out of Ahmedabad. We are very proud to say કે અમદાવાદની પહેલી આઈટી કંપની NSE BSE પર લિસ્ટ થઈ હતી, અમે હતા. And also I founded the chapter PMI, જે સેકન્ડ લાઇન તમે જોવો છો, પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજમેન્ટ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ. ઇટ્સ અ ગ્લોબલ બોડી ઓફ પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજમેન્ટ which advances the practices in the field of project management. લોકોને what way to follow, what are the practices to follow, what are the basic things to keep in mind while you are doing project management, and a basic concepts and principles per continuous evolve કરે અને knowledge spread કરે. So there were 8 chapters in India. It's a global body, 300 chapters worldwide. So we founded the 9th chapter in India, which is Gujarat, back in 2020, right in COVID, and I'm vice president of that chapter. So that is my brief introduction. 14 વર્ષ અમેરિકા રહીને પાછો આવ્યો ત્યારે I always say એક વનવાસની એક ટર્મ હતી એટલે એક્ઝિટ મળી હતી, એ એક્ઝિટનો ઉપયોગ કરી અને સ્વદેશ પાછા આવી ગયા અને લાઈફ ઇઝ બ્યુટિફુલ. Many of you are IT aspirants, many of you are thinking about overseas. It is worth a thought, definitely think about it. But life is beautiful no matter what. લાઈફને બ્યુટિફુલ આપણે બનાવવાની હોય છે, બહાર સારું હોય એટલે સારું થતું નથી હોતું. જસ્ટ વન બેઝિક થોટ ફોર ઓલ ઓફ યુ. So, before we go further, other 9 topics that you are covering in this series, they are all technical. આજે બીજો ટોપિક છે ક્રિપ્ટોગ્રાફી, I was looking at your pamphlet, AI and ML, and data structures and algorithm, and mixed reality and what not. So, and I don't think and I don't believe that technology is the only way forward. I'm from the field of technology, bachelor's, master's in computer science, so fully techie guy, but I'm not doing technology these days. I'm primarily into the people management, project management, process management side, which is as much important as the technology, my strong belief. And that is why I put a tagline here, it's a versatile career option. So if all of you or some of you or any of you, you think technology is too much and not my cup of tea, it's okay. Still you should be doing technology, understand technology, so you can do other bit that is important in the technology, something like project management. And that is why I chosen this topic, કે ટેકનોલોજીના 9 ટ્રેક છે એ બધાથી ઇફ ઇન કેસ યુ હેવ બીન ઓવરવેલ્ડ, ઓ માય ગુડનેસ, આ બધું કેવી રીતે સમજમાં આવે ને કેવી રીતે કરાય, પાયથનથી ચાલુ કરું કે આનાથી કરું, પ્લીઝ ડુ ઓલ ઓફ દેટ, બટ કીપ ધીસ ઇન માઇન્ડ એઝ એન ઓપ્શન ટુ, બિકોઝ ટેકનોલોજીનો ટ્રેક ગમે તે હશે, project management is a common track. Project management is not something new. Project management existed right from the beginning of mankind. બરાબર છે? કંઈક બી વસ્તુ કરવી હોય તો એને પ્રોપરલી પ્લાન કરીને એક્ઝિક્યુટ કરવી, that is considered a project management. Correct? So whatever we do, let it be engineering project, civil engineering બિલ્ડિંગ બનાવતા હોઈએ, let it be defense વોર માટે આર્મીને ડિપ્લોય કરવાની હોય, let it be ઘરે લગન લેવાનું હોય, or let it be IT નો પ્રોજેક્ટ, ક્લાયન્ટ માટે તમારે કોઈ સોલ્યુશન બનાવવાનું હોય, ડિલિવરી કરવાની હોય, સિક્યોરિટી ક્રિએટ કરવાની હોય, all those are projects. So knowing technology is very important, there is no exception and there is no if and but about it. But ટેકનોલોજીનું સંકલન કરવું, ટેકનોલોજીનો ઉપયોગ કરી અને ડિલિવર કરવું, that is little beyond that is where project management comes in a play. So that is what I'm going to talk about. So I hope you will like it and you will find it worthwhile. So moving on to the next slide. According to you, આપણે થોડું ઇન્ટરેક્ટિવ બનાવીશું, ક્વેશ્ચન આન્સર આપણે છેલ્લા રાખવાના છે. જયરાજે ક્લોક સેટ કરી દીધી 40 મિનિટ. આજે અમને બી એવું લાગે છે કે અમે સ્કૂલના ક્લાસમાં આવ્યા છે. And we'll try to do as much justice. But we'll keep it interactive. Anybody, what is project? Quick, rapid fire. છોકરાઓ ચા પીધી છે, તમે કીધું ઊંઘ નથી આવતી કીધું, હવે બાકી શું રહ્યું? Come on, what is project? Speak your mind, it's okay. બોલો ભાઈ, મગજમાં વિચાર આવે છે કોઈને? Yes, please. One part of it, absolutely. So working together on a topic, one thing. It's partly true, there is more to it, we'll come to it. Anybody else? I briefly said as such. Anyway, so project is basically working together to deliver something specific. So when you want to deliver something specific, right, ऐसे snap of fingers से तो कुछ हो नहीं जाता है. हो जाता है? अलादीन का चिराग बाहर निकलेगा, सब कुछ कर देगा. वो तो बातें स्टोरी है ना. That does not happen in real life. So series of tasks, you do multiple little things towards a specific goal, specific outcome that you want to achieve. Your outcome should be clear in your mind, that what you want to get out of it. And to get that, whatever you're doing as a series of tasks within defined time frame. બરાબર હે? You guys are too young, but when we were young, इंडिया में हर साल हर इलेक्शन ईयर के बाद जब नई गवर्नमेंट फॉर्म होती है, 5 वर्षीय योजना आवे. इट्स कॉल्ड 5-year प्लान. That is supposed to be executed in a 5-year. Start now, finish in 5-year. But that used to go on for 15 years. That was our past. Today, when we are in today's world, what you see, if they have put a sign that this bridge is going to be ready on so and so date, more than likely it becomes ready on that date and you are traveling on that bridge. Correct? So there is a start date and there is an end date. There is a target. For example, if I talk about a very simple example, I want to get to Mumbai before 6 a.m. tomorrow, or I want to get to Mumbai by 8 p.m. today. So my goal is clear, my timeline is clear. Then I work and do little things. सर मेरे को 8 बजे पहुँचना है, मेरे को इतने बजे निकलना पड़ेगा, गाड़ी नहीं ले सकता हूँ मैं, मुझे बाय रोड जाना पड़ेगा. All those little thinking that you put together and you start working towards it, that is project. So series of tasks to deliver some specific outcome within defined time frame and approved budget. That is another important aspect. Endless पैसे खर्च करने की बात नहीं होती है. So you are told कि मेरे को 1 लाख रुपए में वैकेशन करके वापस आना है. सो बजट है 7 दिन है एंड देन यू वर्क टुवर्ड्स इट, राइट? सो दैट इज प्रोजेक्ट. क्लियर एवरीबडी? ओके, लेट अस लुक एट सम रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स. मैंने 2-3 एग्जांपल आपको ऐसे बातों बातों में दे दिए. सो एनी एग्जांपल दैट यू कैन थिंक ऑफ आपकी लाइफ से प्रोजेक्ट का कोई एग्जांपल? एनीबडी? आफ्टर दिस लिटिल बिट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, anybody can think of an example? Guys, I know you are much smarter than that. Okay, अभी आई थिंक नींद नहीं उड़ी है, सबको जरा कुछ एक्सरसाइज करवाना पड़ेगा. नेक्स्ट टाइम ऑनवर्ड्स 8:45 to 9 we'll have basically warm up session outside, right? Okay, let us look at some real life examples. Planning a vacation. How planning a vacation is a project? I need some interaction. બોલો ભાઈ, say it. તું કે ફરીથી મને મહેનત સાંભળી મેં શું કીધું? પણ એને પ્રોજેક્ટ કેવી રીતે કહેવાય? Correct. So there are 7 days that you have. There is 1 lakh rupee budget. You want to go to Himalaya. So you will think what you want to do. બરાબર? કેવી રીતે સૌથી ઓપ્ટિમમ રીતે ઓછા ટાઈમ અને ઓછા પૈસા કરતું નહીં ત્યાં પહોંચી જવું, દહેરાદૂન પહોંચી જવું, ત્યાં જઈને મારે શું શું કરવું છે, ક્યાં રહેવું છે, બરાબર? એકલું દહેરાદૂન જવું છે કે દહેરાદૂનની બાજુ મારે શિમલા પણ જવું છે વિચારવું. સો યુ થિંક લોટ ઓફ થિંગ્સ. કેટલા જણ જઈ રહ્યા છે, હું એકલો જ મારા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ જોડે આવી રહ્યા છે કે નથી આવી રહ્યા, કેટલા રૂમ કરવા પડશે, કેવી હોટલમાં રહેવું છે, કેવું ખાવું છે, ક્યાં ફરવું છે. સો યુ થિંક માય એન્ડ ગોલ ઇઝ ટુ હેવ ફન વિથ માય ફ્રેન્ડ્સ out of vacation, but within this timeline and within this budget, then I will work towards it. Some more examples. Click करजे भाई. Event or party planning. બરાબર છે, ઘરમાં કોઈની બર્થડે સેલિબ્રેશન કરવું હોય, મેરેજ લીધા હોય તો ઇન્વિટેશન કાર્ડ બી પ્રિન્ટ કરવા પડે, વેન્યુ બી નક્કી કરવું પડે, કેટરર બી વી હેવ ટુ ડિસાઇડ ધ કેટરર ટુ, વી હેવ ટુ ડિસાઇડ ગેસ્ટ લિસ્ટ, કેટલા લોકોને બોલાવવા છે નથી બોલાવવા. How do you send the invitation? Correct? What is the D-Day? On day of the event, આપણે શું પ્લાનિંગ જોઈશે, ડેકોરેશન શું કરીશું, lot of things that you have to do. You put one small function together, there are so many things happening, so many agencies getting involved that you have to coordinate. Invitation card print કરાવો, એને પહેલાં મેટર તૈયાર કરાવો, એનું પ્રૂફ રીડિંગ કરો, so many series of tasks happen. આપણે ઘરમાં લગ્ન થાય એટલે કે લગ્ન એટલે પ્રોજેક્ટ, રાઈટ? વી સે દેટ. અમદાવાદમાં એટલે કે માણેક ચૂક જવું એક પ્રોજેક્ટ થઈ જાય. Why? Because you want to achieve certain things in a limited time and limited budget. So that's a project. So event planning is a project. Let's keep going more and more. Building a house. કેટલું વિચારવું પડે ઘર બનાવવાનું હોય તો શું વિચારો ક્વિકલી? કયો એરિયા, કેટલું બજેટ, ક્યારે મૂવ થવું છે, પછી આગળ ફર્નિશ્ડ ઓર અનફર્નિશ્ડ, ઘરમાં કેટલા રૂમ જોઈએ, એની રૂમનો લેઆઉટ કેવો બનાવીશું, એનું કન્સ્ટ્રક્શન કોણ કરશે, પૂજા રૂમ જોઈએ કે ના જોઈએ, ડુ યુ વોન્ટ ઓફિસ રૂમ ઓર નોટ, કરેક્ટ? યુ નો, so many things that you think. It's a project. First you think, then you deliver. Next, let's keep going on. Upgrade or renovation. જૂના ઘરમાં રહીએ છીએ, ઘર નવું કરવું છે. Everybody has gone through that in our life. રાઈટ? પપ્પા મમ્મીએ કર્યું છે, આપણે તો જોયું છે, થોડો હાથ બી અડાડ્યો હશે. ઇલેક્ટ્રિશિયન કયો આવશે, પહેલાં તો શું ચેન્જ કરવા છે, વોટ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ ચેન્જીસ યુ વોન્ટ ટુ મેક ઇટ એટ હોમ, રાઈટ? ગાઈઝ, આઈ એમ ફોર અ પર્ટિક્યુલર રીઝન આઈ એમ નોટ ટોકિંગ IT examples, આઈ એમ ટોકિંગ રિયલ લાઈફ examples. I want to relate to what you can do, what is project, and then we'll take it to IT, right? So lot of series of the actions happen. At the end of the day, 1 month, 3 months, whatever the time period you set aside, you have a beautiful new home, renovated. મોટું ટીવી આવી જાય, સરાઉન્ડ સ્પીકર લાગી જાય, ડાઇનિંગ ટેબલ ઘરમાં ના હોય તો આવી જાય, right? Those kind of things. So that's a project. Developing a mobile application. Let's talk a little bit of IT. Mobile application બનાવવાની છે. How many of you have participated in developing a mobile application? Anybody? Not yet? કોઈએ કર્યું છે mobile application development? Okay, you will be doing it soon hopefully. But basically તો mobile application બનાવવાની શેના માટે? Who is my target audience? Right? What is the UI should look like? Design કેવી હોવી જોઈએ? What are the functions and features? Is it multilingual or single lingual? Right? એનો ફ્લો શું હશે? પેમેન્ટ આવશે કે નહીં આવે? પેમેન્ટ આવશે, પેમેન્ટ ગેટવે શું આવશે? All those things. So many series of things that you think, what kind of people will I need? Most important part that I have not mentioned yet. ઘર બનાવવું હોય કે પાર્ટી કરવી હોય કે મોબાઈલ એપ્લિકેશન, what kind of people would I need? Where do I get that kind of people? What are they going to charge me? Does my budget permit me or not? Those kind of things. So mobile application development, ERP application development or website development, badama, they are all small little projects that I'm talking about that any of you can pick up right now and start working on probably, right? Next please. Then what is project management? Let's look at that. If project is a series of tasks to achieve something specific, then project management has to be act of coordinating those tasks, right? જો તમારે અહીંથી મુંબઈ આજે સાંજે 8 વાગે પહોંચવું હોય અથવા 5 જણને ઇવન ડિફિકલ્ટ ટાસ્ક, મારે 5 જણને આજે સાંજે 8 વાગે મુંબઈ પહોંચાડવાના છે, મારે 5 જણને મુંબઈ પહોંચાડવાના છે, તો દેન જે ઝીણી વસ્તુ કરવાની છે, બસમાં બેસાડું, ટ્રેનમાં બેસાડું, બાય રોડ મોકલું, કેટલા વાગે ક્યાં હોલ લેવો, જમવું ક્યાં ઘડી ને વોટ એવર રસ્તો મેપ ને વગેરે વગેરે, તે 5 જણને પહોંચાડવાનું કામ જે કરે છે, that is a project management. So act of coordinating those tasks. Doing? No. Coordinating, managing those tasks. So you are managing a project when you are coordinating all those little things to deliver that specific output that leads to, that is combination of a series of multiple tasks. Everybody making sense? Liking it? Okay. So તમે if you go back, પેલા ભાઈને જો પિક્ચરમાં સામે 15 જણા ઊભેલા છે અને he is giving instructions. It's a construction site picture. બધા હાર્ડ હેટ પહેરેલી છે, બિલ્ડિંગ બની રહ્યું છે. But basically think of that, one as electrician, one as a plumbing agency, one as a civil contractor, one as a supplier of the bricks and all the cement and concrete and all of that. Right? Please get this by here, by so and so date. Please you make sure you do this, XYZ things. Similarly, if you are doing the marriage function, if you are planning, if you are a wedding planner, you are dealing with a printing agency, you are dealing with a caterer, you are dealing with the venue provider, you are dealing with the host to finalize the list and giving them instructions. I have to have the list of all the invitee by so and so date if you want them to get the card by so and so date. કારણ કે કાર્ડ જે જવામાં ટાઈમ જવાનો છે, right? So to get the card, I have to have previous thing before that. So there is a series of tasks, they happen in a particular sequence. Then only it can have a particular outcome. Correct? If sequence is disturbed, if I were to get to Mumbai by 8 p.m., but I don't start from here till noon, I cannot be there by 8 p.m. unless I take a flight. Now, does my budget permit it? Is there a flight going from Ahmedabad to Mumbai? Those questions I have to ask first. હું વિચાર્યું, અરે યાર વાંધો નહીં પહોંચી જવાશે, we'll take a flight. બજેટ છે, and I thought, no worries, 8 તો બહુ, I can get there in 2 hours flightમાં. And then I don't check that there is no flight in the afternoon. I'll fail, right? I'll fail to deliver. I will fail to get there. So thinking ahead is the key trait, and coordinating is another important thing. Next, please. So what it entails? What does project management actually entail? શું કરવું પડે? What are the things that project manager typically does? At a very brief level, one is most important thing that project manager does is a planning. એક સર્વે એવું કહે છે કે more time you spend in planning, the chances of success increases multifold. So if somebody tells you that you need to be in Mumbai by 8 p.m. અને અત્યારે ઉપર થઈને દોડવા માંડો, ચલો મુંબઈ જવાનું છે, I may crash. That means I may not be successful because I did not explore all my options. I did not ask what is the budget. I did not try to figure out what are the ways and options to go out. Who can get me fast and all of those things. Right? Wedding લેવાનું હોય કે ઘરે બર્થડે પાર્ટી કરવાની હોય, if in case તમારી પોતાની બર્થડે છે ને, you want to take 5 or 10 of your friends to the dinner. As simple as that. બરાબર છે ભાઈ? બધા આવી જશે ને, આપણે ડિનર કરવા જઈશું. We do it that way. Then we get together at 7 p.m. ક્યાં જઈએ કલાક વિચારવામાં કાઢીએ. We all do that? બરાબર છે? અરે પણ ત્યાં તો બહુ ભીડ હશે, ના મેં તો કાલે જ આ ખાધું છે, XYZ રીઝન થાય. બટ વી ડુ ઓલ ઓફ દેટ એટ એ રન ટાઈમ. સો તમારી પાસે જો 4 કલાકની ઇવનિંગ હોય તો કલાક 1.5 કલાક તમે આમાં બગાડી કાઢ્યો. બરાબર છે? એન્ડ ધેન યુ ગેટ ધેર એન્ડ ધેન બાય ધ ટાઈમ યુ ગેટ ધેર યુ રિયલાઇઝ ઇટ્સ ટુ ક્રાઉડેડ. You are spending money, but you did not get the optimum output in terms of the fun. But if you are planning that, at 7 to 11 I want to be with my friends and have lots of fun, if you think during the day, spend half an hour that, we will meet here, this is where we will go, no noise, no nuisance, we'll have fun. Then you get all 4 hours of quality output that you are looking for. So planning is number one thing. And then goal is another important. You should be clear about what you want. Without those two, there is no point. Life might be, right now your students, first, second year, absolutely okay. But as you go further down the line, you want to think ahead that what you want to do. મારે overseas જવું છે તો Canada, US, Australia, ક્યાં ને કેમ. Then you take it up as a project that, what do I need to do to be there, to get my admission. મારે આ સ્કોર જોઈશે, આ સ્કોર માટે મારે એક્ઝામની પ્રિપેરેશન જોઈશે, આટલું, અને એ પ્રિપેરેશન માટે આ ક્લાસ સૌથી બેસ્ટ છે. These are the colleges I can target. These are the ideal for my caliber in terms of the fee, in terms of the quality of education, in terms of my field that I want to pursue my higher studies. These are my target. You work with the target in mind. You work backward, things will happen. So planning and goal are the two most important things. If you go further, little more detail, there is a risk. When you go further, અરે ભાઈ મારે તો ઓસ્ટ્રેલિયા ભણવા માટે જવું છે, રાઈટ, અને વિઝા નથી મળતો, તો you have the risk in mind, and then there is a mitigation that if that happens, I'll have backup for a Canada, for example, right? Budget is there, planning is there, problem solving along the way. It's not that once you think there will not be any problem. અહીંથી મારે, if I want to get to my office, right, which is in Thaltej, after this at 11:30, I may have set a meeting at 12 p.m. અડધો કલાક તો બહુ થઈ ગયો. I have thought about it કે હું આ રસ્તો લઈશ, I will go through Thaltej, અવોઇડ કરી પેલું ડ્રાઇવિંગવાળો રોડ અવોઇડ કરીશ ને વગેરે વગેરે. I may take alternate route, but still I am going on that road. There may be accident or something, a crowd on some intersection, and it may still be a problem. So planning does not guarantee a success. Planning increases the chances of success. So I should have backup in mind. રાઈટ? તમે વિચાર જ કરવાનું ક્યારે? રસ્તા પર ઉતરો એટલે પહોંચી જવાય. There is one approach, and you do most of the time, but if you want to increase the chance of success of achieving in certain time, you think of all possible risks and you plan mitigation. How many of us really want to get sick? Nobody. But still we all carry the medical insurance. Why? What is insurance coverage? That is to cover the risk. If you fall sick, તમારા પોકેટ પર બહાર હળવો પડે, and you are covered. You don't have to worry about money management at that point. So all that is risk mitigation કહેવાય. Milestones, right? If I want to get to Mumbai by 8 p.m. and I'm going to go by the road, if I know it is decided, then I have to have set the milestones. What is the word milestone? Anybody, any idea? શબ્દ માઇલસ્ટોન આવ્યો ક્યાંથી? ઓર તમને કોઈ ખ્યાલ છે? કોઈ માઇલસ્ટોન જોયા છે? ક્યાં જોયા છે? હાઈવે પર, રાઈટ? વોટ ડઝ ધેટ મીન? એના પર શું લખ્યું હોય? અમદાવાદ આટલા કિલોમીટર, બરોડા આટલા, રાઈટ? સો દેટ ઇઝ અ માઇલ પોસ્ટ વિચ ઇઝ ટેલિંગ યુ કે યુ હેવ રીચ ધીસ ફાર એન્ડ યુ હેવ ધીસ મચ ટુ ગો. Same thing, project management journey, my basic milestones that you want to get to Mumbai by 8. You have to be Baroda by 2 p.m., Surat by 4 p.m., Vapi by 6 p.m., Mumbai you can be by 8 p.m. In terms of IT project, if you want to deliver the mobile application on January 1st for a New Year day, you have to have the requirements finalized by November 15th. You have to have design finalized, કેવી દેખાશે, પહેલા શું flow છે, કેવી દેખાશે, finalized by November 28th. Both can happen in parallel, right? Then you have to do the development for 20 days. By December 10th, you should be ready with the development. You should be done with the QC testing part by December 28th, for example. And then you want to do pilot launch on December 28th. 10 days તમે friends and family में application run करो. બધા તમને feedback આપે. જે correct કરવા જો correct કરો. January 1st launch करो. So those dates that I put on my timeline, you know, November 15, November 20, December 10, December 20, December 30, those are called milestones. Right? So that is a part of the project plan. When you're planning, you think there is a big plan that you want to build. તમારે ઘર બનાવવું છે. But I want to move in that home by next summer, June of 2024. તો પહેલાં ઘરની લોકેશન અત્યારે સિલેક્ટ કરું, ડિઝાઇન ફાઇનલ કરું, કન્સ્ટ્રક્શન માટેની કંપની કરું, વચ્ચે આવતે તહેવારોને ધ્યાન રાખવું. આ હોળી આવશે ને કોઈ મહિનો કામ નહીં કરે. You have to be aware of all of that. You take all that knowledge that you have got through your life, put that together with a plan, with some certain target dates in between. Then you get there on the time. Right? So there is a planning, milestones, problem solving when the problem comes. Next, please. And who is project manager? Yellow hat wala bhai. Right? One person. So if I were to write the definition of a project manager, bo bhare kham definition che. A person solely responsible to ensure that specific outcome is achieved by date and time. બહુ મોટું જવાબદારીવાળું કામ છે. Project management is not easy, but it's a lot of fun. Because, you know, to make sure that building, your home is ready, or everybody is at the venue by 5 p.m. Or 9 a.m. so we can start this. Whoever has put this event together, Shreyarth, IT Fest, barabar છે? What they have done is nothing but a project management. Right? They made sure there are 10 topics and 10 speakers identified. They made sure the flyer is ready by a certain date and it is shared with all of you. They made sure all speakers are here on those dates at 9 or 10, whichever the time may be. They made sure that you all are here. They made sure this venue was available and has enough capacity for anticipated people to come. And today we are just executing the event. આ થતાં પહેલાં આગળનું પ્લાનિંગ જયરાજ and team must have done for so long. You know, અત્યારના બિઝી વર્લ્ડમાં 10 જણને સેટ ટાઈમ પર હાજર કરવા સહેલા નથી. He called me, Freya, ક્યારે ફાવશે? Can you come on Monday? છે ના મંડે મને નહીં ફાવે. But Thursday I can come. હવે બધાનો ટાઈમ અલગ અલગ હોય. Right? There are 10 moving variables, 10 people, there are 10 slots, making sure that one fit into one of this slot. And if there are 2 people, they say, we both can come in this, but we cannot come to other. That means a slot ખાલી રહે. એટલે 11 મને શોધવા જાઓ અને એને ત્યાં બેસાડો. So that is a project management. And any of you that have done this kind of basic planning and execution and delivery, let it be party, let it be college fest હોય, let it be સ્કૂલની કોઈ કોમ્પિટિશનમાં તો ટીમને ભેગી કરી હોય, you all have done project management in your life and you all can do project management. Right? It is not that difficult, but it carries a lot of sense of responsibility and lot of minuscule planning and execution. So these are the 2 important slides, you know, that I put together for all of you. What it takes. So to become a project manager, what you must possess. તમારામાં શું હોવું જોઈએ? Number 1, common sense. છે? ખરી ને? જવાબ આપતો નહોતો મને સવાલ છે. But anyway, basic thing is common sense. You should be able to think ahead, think of the possibilities and a problem that what is the ideal situation. You should be always living in presence. Common sense, what is common sense? Person who lives in presence but has a past experience and historical knowledge to apply for the right outcome, right results. જે તક ઊભી થાય ત્યારે વસ્તુ અપ્લાય કરી શકે સાચી રીતે. Right? That is common sense. You know what makes sense. Listening here, you should be listening to everybody. because my way is or highway is not the right approach. Project management does not work like that. Project manager takes all the inputs. If somebody says, "Hala, tu Mumbai jawani baat kare, bapore flight nathi, challe aman khabar chhe," you are in problem. You should be taking all the input. ખરાઈ કરવાની, બધું માની લેવું જરૂર નથી. લોકો કે પ્રમાણે કરો તો પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજર ના બનો, તો પછી આપણી સરકાર લોકો ચલાવે, રાઈટ? આપણે તો પોતે ચલાવવાની છે. સો લિસન ટુ પીપલ, ટેક ધોઝ ઇનપુટ્સ, વેલિડેટ ધોઝ, અપ્લાય ધોઝ એઝ અપ્રોપ્રિએટ. People skill, because you are dealing with so many different kind of people. You are dealing with developers. If you are doing IT project manager, you are dealing with designer. મોબાઈલ એપની વાત કરીએ તો, રાઈટ? ડિઝાઇનર છે ને પેલા ક્રિએટિવ લોકો છે, એમને મૂડ આવે એ પ્રમાણે કામ કરે. જરા બી પ્રેશર કરો એટલે કે સર તમે આટલું પ્રેશર કરો છો તો સારી ડિઝાઇન નહીં બને. એટલે આપણે સારી ડિઝાઇન તો બનાવવાની છે. ઇફ યુ વોન્ટ ટુ ડેવલપ અ મોબાઈલ એપ્લિકેશન, યુ વોન્ટ ટુ હેવ અ ગુડ ડિઝાઇન, ગુડ UI, ગુડ UX. અને પેલો તમને એવું કહી દે, હવે it comes out from here. Design or develop logic does not come out. There is no AI that can replace that, right? There will be someday. So there are creative people, there are arrogant people that you are dealing with, some lazy people you will be dealing with, some technically really strong people, but એનો સ્કેડ્યુલ રાતના 3 વાગે સુઈને બપોરે 12 વાગે ઉઠે. જાતના લોકો છે દુનિયામાં, રાઈટ? એ બધાને ભેગા કરી એક પેજ પર લાઈન તમારે પર્ટિક્યુલર ટાઈમે ડિલિવર કરવાનું છે. સમબડી વુડ સે દેટ એ 12 વાગે આવે તો હું કે બેસી 12 વાગ્યા સુધી. We hear all of that. So how do you bring all of them together? It's a people skill. Making people understand, buy into that common goal that you have set for your team, not for yourself. Make them understand why everybody is important, so are you and so is her and he, and making them do things. That is people skill. Very important aspect. Sense of ownership. At the end of the day, project manager is the owner, and this is very important, guys. For all of you, you are responsible for your life. Whatever happens, nobody is a problem. You are. Whatever good happens, you have done it. Whatever bad happens, you have to take responsibility. Similarly, at the project level, when you are project manager, designer man design na apne project deliver na to no, does not work. You are the project manager. He is a designer. He is available to you as a resource. એની પાસેથી કામ કરાવવાનું કામ જ તારું હતું ભાઈ, એટલે તું પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજર છું. It was your job. So being a project manager, you have to own that. You have to carry that in your mind that I am responsible. I will do whatever it takes. Right? Next, two important things. Domain knowledge. Domain knowledge means જે પ્રોજેક્ટ ડિલિવર કરતો હોય એ બાબતની બેઝિક અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ. પ્રોસેસ હોય, પ્રોસિજર હોય, લિંગો બધું, રાઈટ? Just understand the concept and purpose of that industry. And the next is technical knowledge. And that is why you guys are ideal fit for IT project management. You understand technology. See, non-IT project managers are no good, or they are not as useful. They can be successful. But if you are going to manage the people that are in IT, that have IT skills, it is important that you understand what is IT and what IT can do and cannot do. If you go and ask somebody that is not possible, it's not appropriate. Then you are bound to fail. Or if you don't know what can be done, and પેલો ડેવલપર કે સર આ તો ના થાય, વેલિડેશન તો મુકાય જ નહીં, તમે માની જાઓ, then also you are bound to fail. So technical knowledge is very important. Domain knowledge is important, but along with that, other things. And these are, I can go on this list, can be like 100 people. It's a characteristic of person. There can be many things. These are few I have jotted for all your references, which you can relate directly. And next slide, on the next, what you shall be. So if you are wanting to be project manager, you should be carrying all of this. You must be analytical. When it comes to problem solving, you have to think of all the possibilities and what is the best way out. Methodical. Project management does not happen just like that. You have to be very structure driven. You have to think ahead. You have to plan ahead. You need to be working ahead. So next is accountable. Sense of ownership. You have to be accountable, right? કોઈ તમને કહે ને તમે ના છટકબારી શોધો તો you are not a project manager. I should be ready to take all that comes on me and deliver. That is accountability, right? So if you are thinking that you are a person of excuses, please pardon me, but you are not a project manager. Don't even try for that. Become a developer. But if you have guts to carry that stress and burden, sense of ownership and deliver, if you think you can make people work with you and make people work among them and deliver, be a project manager. Proactive, always have to think ahead, right? Not at the runtime. There can be some runtime in terms of issues and risk, but there also possibilities are thought ahead and convincing. આટલા બધા અલગ અલગ જાતના લોકોને લઈને ફરવાનું હોય, પીપલ સ્કિલ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂ, યુ હેવ ટુ બી કન્વિન્સિંગ. ચાલ ને યાર, આજે અહીંયા જઈએ, પેલો કહે છે ને આજે આપણે અર્બન ચોક જવું છે, ચાલ ને ત્યાં જઈએ, નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ ત્યાં જઈશું. એટલું બી સમજાઈ શકતા તો અત્યારે હોવા જોઈએ ને. બાકી એક અર્બન ચોક જશે ને એક માણેક ચોક જશે અને તમે રિવરફ્રન્ટમાં આટા મારતા હશો, રાઈટ? વેરી સિમ્પલ થિંગ. નેક્સ્ટ. Now here is the give and take part of the project management. What kind of pain you should be prepared for. So let's go on to next, please. You have to carry the responsibility, load of responsibility, lots of and load of. આ શોલ્ડર ભારે થઈ જાય ને એટલું બધું, બરાબર છે? Let me be very honest. It's not all rosy. There are other side effects, બરાબર? દરેક સિક્કાની બે બાજુ તો હોય જ ને. બે બાજુ સિક્કો એક જ સરખો હોય તો એવું જોયું છે કે? Do you believe there can be one? અંબાણીને બી તકલીફ હશે ને અદાણીને બી તકલીફ ને મને બી તકલીફ ને તમને બી તકલીફ, રાઈટ? તકલીફ તો રહેવાની. સો સ્ટ્રેસ, બ્લેમ્સ, ફેલ્યોર, who people are going to shout at. કેમ આજે નથી પત્યું, કોને બૂમ પાડશે? તમારા ઘરે રિનોવેશનનું કામ ચાલતું હોય, તમે એક માણસ રાખ્યો, એન્જિનિયર હોય કે સેન્ટ્રલ પીઓસી પોઈન્ટ ઓફ કોન્ટેક્ટ, એક એજન્સી, ભાઈ તારે આ બધું લાવવાનું, માણસ બી તારે લાવવાના, મટીરિયલ બી તારે લાવવાનું, ડિલિવર થવાનું. એના માણસો અઠવાડિયું ના આવ્યા, બરાબર છે? કામ ના થયું, તમે બૂમચી કોને પાડશો? પેલા માણસને કે પેલા અઠવાડિયું ના આવ્યા એમને પાડશો? You are responsible, then you have to take the blame. If you want to take the credit, first be prepared to take the blame. અને બ્લેમ બહુ ઇઝી મળે, સસ્તા મળે છે. બૂમો પાડવામાં તો બધાને મજા આવી જાય, ક્યાંક સવારનો ગુસ્સો કાઢી કાઢો, દિવસ સારો થઈ ગયો, રાઈટ? ફ્રસ્ટ્રેશન, યસ, અરે પેલો ના કરે હું શું કરું, આ માણસ સમજતો નથી, XYZ, lot of kind of very simple things. But what you get after taking all these pains, carrying this load on your shoulder to deliver and make it happen, meticulously planning ahead, how do I make it happen, what will it take, and how do I make sure everything happens as per the plan. When it happens, what you get, and this is something that out of ordinary, that feeling is feeling of a nirvana, that sense of accomplishment, amazing satisfaction that I delivered. બરાબર છે? મોદીજી અત્યારે ભારતને નવું ભારત બનાવવાનું એક સપનું લઈને બેઠા હતા. Actually at a very high level he is orchestrating this entire thing, right? There are so many departments, so many mantralas and so many schemes that he is putting out and things are happening. But there is a big vision at the top pyramid that is percolated down by all these different streams, and it is happening. Now, so many vivid minds, bringing them on together and making it happen. So when you do that, there is amazing sense of satisfaction, sense of accomplishment, as I rightly said, recognition. છેલ્લા એવોર્ડ મળે ને, સક્સેસફુલ પ્રોજેક્ટ ડિલિવર્ડ વિધિન બજેટ, નવો બ્રિજ બન્યો, વોટ એવર, તાલીઓ પડે ને ત્યારે લેવા માટે એક જ છે, પેલું ઇન્ડિયાની ટીમ વર્લ્ડ કપ જીતે છે માની લઈએ, ટ્રોફી લેવા કોણ જશે? રમ્યા હતા તો 15 જણા, અને એક મેચમાં બોલિંગ અચાનક ચેન્જ કરે છે. પહેલાં ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ બુમરાના બદલે ટ્રાય કરવા માટે જડેજાને લાવે છે અને જડેજા જોડાઈ જાય છે, બૂમો કોને પડશે? રોહિત શર્માને. પણ એ મેચ જીતશે ત્યારે ક્રેડિટ કોને મળશે? સો યુ ટેક ધ રિસ્ક, you gain the return out of it, right? So and then you are the one who go and who is recognized, and then there is a tremendous growth option ahead of it, right? Let me just last slide. So how to get there? If you are thinking in your journey that how do I become a project manager, let us please. So you start with a business analyst. Business analyst is somebody who is understanding the business, defining the requirement, understanding the requirements, documenting it, and converting that into the solution. There is a role. You please study this. These are the keywords for you right now. So journey of a project manager starts with business analyst. Once you become business analyst, you naturally become project coordinator because you have an entire idea about what is to be done in project. You may not be doing it, but you know what is to be done. Then associate project manager, and then you become project manager. This is more of a functional path. There is other path you can take, Still to become a project manager, which is technical path, you start as a developer, mobile developer, front-end developer, full-stack developer, તમે જે વિચારો, DBA, whatever. I started journey as a business analyst and developer together, right? You become a project lead because you are good in technology and you have good understanding of what is to be done and you can manage people, you become automatically project lead. Next level, you are still technical, then you become tech project manager. And then from there on, you become the project manager. I have traversed that path. I also have done business analyst. So there is a functional path and there is a technical path that you can take. Any path you go, you can become a manager. So try to know yourself, what you are doing good at. If you think you are not a people person, if you think you are just good at technology and you love technology, you don't, લોકોને જોડે માથા ચડાવવા ગમતા નથી and all of that, forget project management. But if you think, I like technology, but I like to deliver together, I can manage people better, then there is a great journey as a project manager that you can take. Once you become a project manager, you can become a program manager, portfolio manager, and then become a COO. That is your end goal. You know, COO stands for Chief Operating Officer. They are natural project managers. So that is the career path you can take to become a project manager. IT, non-IT does not matter. We are talking IT today because you all are IT, but otherwise project management is across. It's domain agnostic. That means you can be project manager in any domain and you will be successful. All right? So that's it. Thank you. I have a slide for questions, but that will be taken later. Thank you.
Valuable time. Now we welcome Sir for he has joined ISRO in 1989 and currently he is a group director of Navigation Technology and Application Group. Welcome Dhaval sir.
Very good morning, all of you. Yeah. Along with you, I was also listening curiously the lecture, very nice lecture given by Mr. Prerak. I was relating myself, my life at ISRO, at many of the topics he has already explained. So I really enjoyed your lecture, very good orator, nicely explained the topics. Before I start my lecture, yeah, okay. Before he loads, no? એમણે જ્યારે લેક્ચર આપ્યું સરસ બધા ઘણા ટોપિક કવર કર્યા એમાં ખાસ કરીને પ્લાનિંગનો એક એમણે ટોપિક કીધો ત્યારે મને લાઇટર સાઈડમાં તમે બધાએ શાહબુદ્દીન રાઠોડનું નામ મોટાભાગે સાંભળ્યું હશે એમણે એક શિક્ષકો બારવટે ચડ્યા નામનો એક પ્રસંગ વર્ણવ્યો છે અને શિક્ષકો બારવટે ચડતી વખતે બારવટે ચડવા માટેના પ્લાનિંગ કરવા ભેગા થાય છે ત્યારે એમનું એક વાક્ય છે કે આ તો ડાયો વર્ગ રહ્યો 1 કલાકના કામમાં 2 કલાકનું તો એમનું આયોજન હોય ઓફકોર્સ આપણે જે વાત કરી એમાં તો ઘણા મોટા કામની વાત છે ને એમાં ચોક્કસ આયોજનની જરૂર પડે પણ શાહબુદ્દીનભાઈએ એમ કીધું હતું કે ડાયો વર્ગ તો નાના કામ માટે એની જેટલું જરૂર પડે એની કરતાં વધારે તો આયોજનમાં સમય લઈ લે સો દેટ આઈ કુડ રિયલાઇઝ ઇમિડિયેટલી સો નાવ કમિંગ ટુ માય ટોપિક ક્રિપ્ટોગ્રાફી નેક્સ્ટ So outline is like that, introduction, public and private key crypto system, popular cipher algorithms, data encryption standard in some details if time permits, SATCOM application and SATNAV application, satellite communication, satellite navigation application, why we required to work on cryptography. We are, he is a IT person or computer person, I am an electronics person, and we never studied the cryptography during our syllabus. But still, because of the demand of our whatever work we are doing, we need to study those and we need to apply those things in our projects. Next one, please. Next. So, what you want to do? Say, preventing unauthorized interceptions of sensitive data. That is, you want to achieve. That you have some sensitive data and you want to prevent any unauthorized interception. Next. Now coming to the military, inherently military requirement is of this kind. Okay, during World War, this was anticipated by many of the nations that you need to have a communication which need to be protected, which should not be known to others. That is an inherent requirement. Next, government. Now, there are many diplomatic communications going on, and which both the nations want that others should not know. This is a secret between these two nations. That also requires some kind of protection. Next. Coming to the business sector. This has a many commercial, what you can say, implications. That a rival company, what their plans, what they are planning to do, if that is getting leaked to the other rival company, then also it has a very implications. So even business sector wants. And coming to the private individuals, nowadays we all requires some kind of protection and secrecy individually also. Next. So what you want, a non-interceptable means of storage and transmission. That is what is required to achieve. Next. So cryptographic cipher system provides you this particular, to achieve this you need to have this kind of system. It conceals the contents of message by enciphering it before transmission. So you have one layer, you apply some mechanism, some function on what you want to either store or communicate, and then you transmit or store. Next. To protect valuable data in computer system for processing and storing. Next. To prevent the unauthorized extraction or deletion. Sometimes it's what you want that secrecy, and sometimes you want that it has not been altered also while it reaches to you. So to prevent the unauthorized extraction or deletion of information, and to prevent the unauthorized injection or addition of a false data. So you do not want that, you want to ensure that it has not tampered, nothing has been changed, and you want secrecy also. Next. So there are some terminologies, we'll just quickly go through it. So cryptology, all inclusive terms used for the study of secure communication over non-secure channels and related problems. All the time what has been believed that the channel used is always unsecure. That we are not securing. Wherever it is transmitted, anybody can tap those things. So cryptology is all inclusive term used for the study of secure communication. Ultimately you want to achieve a secure communication over an unsecure channel. Next. Now in this there are two branches. One is the cryptography, the process of designing systems to realize secure communication over non-secure channels. Next. And crypto analysis. When you are designing a system or when somebody else has designed a system and you would like to break those systems, there is a counter mechanism all the time. Say we design something, then our enemy will try to break it, or enemy has developed their system, we would like to break it. So crypto analysis is the discipline of breaking the cryptographic system. One need to study these also. Plain text, that is the original understandable message. That is the message you would like to protect. Next. Cipher, the method, technique or algorithm used to change plain text into the scrambled form. That is known as a cipher. Next. Encryption. It is a function applied on a plain text. You are designing a function that will apply on a plain text to make it, okay, before that a key. There is a function which takes two inputs typically. One is a plain text, this is your message, and it takes a key. Key will specify a function. You change the key and function will give you a different output. Next. And when you apply encryption to your plain text with a key, you generate a cipher text, which is the output of the encryption function. Next. So these are the terminology or few more. Confidentiality. You want to hide the content of the message exchange in a transaction. This is a natural requirement of next. Authentication. Sometimes your secrecy may be required, may not be required, but you want to ensure that the origin of the message is correctly identified. Say you receive a message one day that tomorrow there was an exam and all of you received a message, your exam is postponed. Okay, everybody received that tomorrow's exam postponed. Now you received it from say Dr. Jairaj Pandya. Now you want to ensure where really it was Jairaj Pandya. Message importance itna nahi hai. એક્ઝામ પોસ્ટપોન થઈ ગયું એ મેસેજની સિક્રેસી એટલી અગત્યની નથી રહેતી, પણ આ જયરાજ પંડ્યાએ જ મોકલ્યું છે કે બીજા કોઈ મોકલ્યું? તમારામાંથી જ કહો કે જેણે પ્રિપેરેશન ના કર્યું એણે મોકલ્યું છે, અને એવું બન્યું છે ઇન અ રિયલ લાઈફ. યુએસમાં એ બનેલી વાત છે. સો this is what, when that time what you require, authentication, whether what I received is authenticated, okay, that the person has sent, the same person has sent to me. Next, integrity, ensuring that the only authorized parties are able to modify computer system assets and transmitted information. Only authorized party has changed the information. Nobody, other person has not modified. So when I receive a message, there is a mechanism to ensure that this has not changed during the transit. Or if it has been changed, it is changed by the authorized person, not by anybody else. Next, non-repudiation requires that neither of the authorized party deny the aspects of a valid transaction. Now this is also equally important in today's world. Say there are many platforms that one person wants to sell, say, refrigerator. Another person wants to purchase a refrigerator, and at 15,000 rupees transaction was approved, and both have agreed on that platform. After next day, the person who has purchased, એને એમ લાગે છે કે 15,000 તો બહુ આપી દીધા, મને તો 13,000માં મળે છે. તો he denies, I have not done this. On my name somebody else has done this. Or the other way now, જેણે વેચ્યું 15,000માં, એ ક્યારે આના તો 17 મળે મને, મારે નથી વેચવું. તો એ ડિનાય કરી દે કે ના, મેં નથી કર્યું, I have not agreed to this. So there should be a mechanism to prove that no, you only have done it, either party. In a non-repudiation. So all these are requirement of, or a general requirement of any cryptographic system. You may want to achieve some of this, or a combination of this. And for that you need to study cryptography, that how it can be achieved. Next. Just a very simple thing, what as it was said also there. પેલું પોઈન્ટર છે હોય તો આપજો, બાકી ઇટ્સ ઓકે. So as I said you, there is an encryption function. An encryption function is applied on a plain text along with the key. Now tell me, why key is required? Anybody? પ્રેરકભાઈ જેમ ઇન્ટરેક્શનની મજા આવે છે, મને પણ આવે છે, ટાઈમ નથી પણ છતાં કેમ કી જોઈએ? મેં એન્ક્રિપ્શન ફંક્શન બનાવી લીધું, and I apply the function. Why I need key unnecessarily? મારે એક ઇન્ફોર્મેશન મોકલવાની છે, સિક્રેટલી મોકલવાની છે, તો એક વધારાનું ઇનપુટ, why I required another input? I will use encryption function, encrypt my message, plain text, and give it to the, say I want to send something to Prerak Bhai. I apply the function without a key. એમને કહી દઉં કે આ જ ફંક્શન મેં વાપર્યું છે. He will use the function in a reverse order and get back the message. Then why key is required? Why additional input? હા તો બરાબર, પણ હું વગર કીએ ડિક્રિપ્ટ કરું. મેં ફંક્શન જ એવું બનાવ્યું છે જેમાં કીની જરૂર જ નથી. ખાલી મેસેજ ઇનપુટ આપે ને ડિક્રિપ્શન ફંક્શનથી મેસેજ આઉટપુટ આપે, કી છે જ નહીં. આ બીજો ઇનપુટ રાખતો જ નથી. Why it is required? The reason is, see, designing a very good encryption function is a difficult task. Now I design a function that will be used only by me and Prerak Bhai. Tomorrow I want to transmit something to Dolakia Sahib or to any of you. Will I design a new function? No, I will be utilizing the same function but with a different key. Okay, I will use the same function multiple times with multiple applications with multiple people by just changing the key. દર વખતે હું એન્ક્રિપ્શન નવું ફંક્શન ડિઝાઇન ન કરી શકું, but same encryption function can be used with lakhs of keys with a different people. Okay, so now encryption function takes plain text and key as an input. It will generate a ciphertext that will be transmitted on an open unsecure channel to the recipient, and decryption function will be applied with the key, with the same key. So decryption function will take ciphertext and key as an input, and you get back the plain text. Now when I say ciphertext is on an open unsecure channel, but definitely my key need to have a secure transmission. You can see I cannot reveal key to everybody, otherwise anybody else will get the message. Now the next question is, if I have a secure transmission channel for key, why all this jugglery? Use that secure channel for transmitting the message itself. આ બધું શું કરવા કરવું છે ભાઈ? સિક્યોર ટ્રાન્સમિશન ચેનલ તો હું કહું જ છું, કી માટે જ જોઈએ છે, તો ભાઈ એ જ વાપરી લો ને સીધી મેસેજ માટે જ. કરેક્ટ? ધ રીઝન ઇઝ key length is 128 bit, 256 bits. Okay, that is done once. That can last for a large amount of period until you feel that now it is required to be changed. It may be broken, but your message is a very big traffic. Okay, that bandwidth is very large. So security of key can be handled in a different way, even though with a secure channel, but same channel cannot be utilized for your day-to-day requirement of a very large or heavy traffic. Next. Now you can classify this in a two way. I said you that same key is required. Okay, now if you require a same key for a decryption, then those kind of crypto system known as a symmetric crypto system, where the key used for encryption and key used for decryption is the same. There is another kind of crypto system, asymmetric crypto system, where the key used for encryption is different from the key used for decryption. Okay, that is an asymmetric crypto system. Next. So symmetric ciphers or symmetric crypto system, there is a P is a plain text. You apply encryption function EX and generate a C. Then you require, you have to need to decrypt the C and you get the P. Security of data rests with the key, because key need to be made secret, as I told you. Otherwise you need to have a secret transmission for the key, because key used is the same. Okay, and you need to require to have a key management, how to generate key, how to distribute keys, all these things one has to take care. Next. Now this symmetric crypto system typically are divided into two: block ciphers and stream ciphers. Next. Now block ciphers, it accepts one block of data at a time, encrypts it using an encryption key and produces ciphertext. So it operates on a block of data. Block size can be any as per the application, as per the design of the function, encryption function. It could be 64 bit, it could be 128 bit, depending on the design of a cipher. Next. You require a buffering, because if your generation of data is not offset at a time with a 128 bit, you have to accumulate 128 bit with a buffering, and then only it can be passed to the encryption function. Next. Plain text and ciphertext block is treated as a separate entity, provides clue to the attacker about content. When I said about the cryptanalysis part, that somebody would like to break the system. Now there is a separate encrypt message of say 64 bit or 128 bit, and there is a function applied with a key, and you have a separate block. So you can correlate between these two to find it out how this function is happening, how it is been applied, because you know the boundaries that these 64 bit are generated at a cipher output level. This corresponds to this 64 bit of a plain text, and if you can correlate that how function is applied on plain text, that gives some clue. Next. So that is a block of plain text and a block of ciphertext are generated using a key. Next one. Stream ciphers. Now stream ciphers operate on a bit level typically. Next. Operates upon a smaller unit of plain text, usually at a bit or a byte level. Next. Combines two streams of same length to form a plain ciphertext. So you have a stream of message or a plain text that is mixed with the another stream to generate a ciphertext. Okay. Next. Receiving end operates upon the ciphertext and a key stream with the inverse combining function to reveal the plain text. So typically block cipher operates on a block level, this operates on a bit level. Next. So there are stream of plain text and there is a key stream generator from the cipher unit. That also requires some seed to start with, as it has been mentioned there. And then it has been XORed and generated the cipher stack. These are the stream cipher system. Both are having a symmetric key crypto system. The key used for encryption and key used for a decryption is the same. Next. Now coming to the asymmetric ciphers, another category. Also known as a public key crypto cipher. So this is known as a public key, or other than symmetric can be known as a private key crypto system. This is a public key crypto system. Next. Key for encryption differs that from the decryption. So both the keys are different. They are mathematically but related. Next. Computationally infeasible to compute one given the other. The mechanism is such, even though both the keys are mathematically related as per the design, but I give you one key and you would like to deduce the another key from that, that is a mathematically difficult problem. That it is designed in such a way that given one key you cannot find out the other one, even though the other key is typically related mathematically to the first key. Next. Requirement for the secure channel to exchange key is removed. Now you do not require, because two keys are different. Okay, it is a public and a private key. There are pair of keys. So if I am having a private and public key, I can announce my public key to you that this is my public key. You can, all of you can know. So there is no requirement of a secure channel where you exchange the key. Okay, I can announce my public key and you can transmit it to me using my public key. Next. So as just only mention is that these two keys are different for encryption as well as for the decryption. And there is no channel required to transmit the key. Next. Now, what are the problems with the private key crypto system? Distribution of keys are required with a secure channel. N into n-1/2 keys required. For a just for an example, for a city of 60,000 people, and if you want to have a secure communication with each one of them, you require so large number of keys just to design, and most of them will be unused. It's not that all 60,000 wants to interact with each other, but you have to design such a system. Next. And there are some advantages of a public key crypto system. One can make encryption key public, which is not the case with the symmetric key crypto system. I cannot tell you my key. It is not to be revealed. Here I can reveal my public key. That is, give it to friends and publish it in a business card. No key exchange is required. It is possible for a people you have never met to send you encrypted electronic mail. If I give it on a business card, anybody can send me a secret message mail to me, which cannot be read by anybody else. It will be read by only by me if it has been encrypted by my public key. Next. Now, whoever designs a cipher, everybody believes that I have designed a best cipher. Nobody can break this. If I design, I would have taken care that this is the best one I have designed. And I will firmly believe that nobody is able to break it. But how I make you believe that this is the best one? Okay. So there are some, in a cryptography, field of cryptography, there are some ways to prove that this is the better system or this is a secure system. So there are some tough mathematical problems known in the field. If you prove that breaking my encryption or breaking my cryptographic system is equivalent to this tough mathematical problem, which is tough known to everybody, then people will believe that yes, you have designed a good system. Okay? So knapsack problem. Next, I will explain factoring a large integer. Next, a discrete log problem. See, these are known tough mathematical problems. Knapsack problem, I will explain that. Factorizing a large integer. Factorizing we have learned in a basic mathematics in our school days. But if it is a very large integer, say 1000-bit integer given to you, and I ask you factorize this, it is a tough mathematical problem. Discrete log problem, this also I will explain. Next. Knapsack problem. What is knapsack problem? You are given weights or numbers, W1, W2, W3 up to Wn. All are positive and integer, say. And you are given a target T. And a question asked is, does there exist a subset of these numbers which add up to T? You can answer yes or no. You may say no, it doesn't exist. Or you may say yes, it does exist. Now answering this is difficult. Now you may feel it looks so simple. You are having say some 10 number, 15 numbers, and you give say whether 69 can be added up with these numbers combinations. You will say either yes or no, it's so easy. I combine all combinations I will do and do it. But when this n is very large, Wn, n is very large, then answering this is very difficult. And that's why knapsack is a difficult problem to solve in a field of mathematics, and if you prove that my breaking of my cipher is equivalent to knapsack, you can prove to the community that my cipher is a good cipher. Next. Factorizing an integer, I already explained. This is the discrete logarithm problem. Say a raised to b is equal to c. Okay. Then if you take logarithmic both sides, then log c is equal to b. Okay. Now if 13 is the number, I just 13 raised to 425 equal to some large number. I give you that large number and a 13. I don't give that the raised to power number. And I ask you, these two numbers are there, what will be that b? 13 power x, some large number, then what is x? Whether it is x equal to 375 or 425 or 500. Then answering or finding out x is difficult. So if you can prove that discrete, my breaking my cipher is equivalent to discrete log problem, then everybody will believe that, nah, you have designed a good cipher. Next. What are the attacks on a crypto system? When I design, definitely there will be attacks, and one need to study those attacks. See, if I design a system for ISRO, I need to study attacks on that also. For my own safety, I need to study attacks on crypto system to break other ciphers also. Okay, so I need to study basics of this. This is a part of crypt analysis, as I mentioned you in an earlier thing. Next, brute force attack. What do you mean by brute force attack? Say I tell you, as encryption function is designed, which takes key as well as the message as an input. Now there will be a finite key size. If I say 64-bit, then there are 2:64 combinations of key. Definitely it will be one of this. Whatever key I choose, it will be out of this 2:64 combinations. If I have a 128-bit key size, it will be definitely one out of this 2:128 combination. 128 bits, there are 2:128 combination. I definitely must have used any one of it, no? Now if I try all, then one will give me the message. Definitely. It has to be within this only. It cannot be out of this. So I decrypt for all keys. For one of the key it will meet, no? And I'll get back the plain text. So this is known as a brute force attack. And whenever you design a system, you have to ensure that for today's computational power, my key size is sufficient so that to break this for a brute force requires a very large amount of what you can say budget, very large amount of money. Number of computers required in parallel to work on finding out all keys is very large. The money required is very large. Then brute force attack, it is not feasible in general today. That everybody has to ensure. That will become viable after few years, and you need to change your either key size or your encryption function. Okay. Next. Ciphertext only attack. As I told you, channel is always unsecure. It is available to you. So my encryption function applied on my plain text and ciphertext generated will be transmitted on a channel, and that channel is available to all. That is the normal belief. Now if that is available, I always get a ciphertext. No? I just watch the ciphertext and try to find out either key or a functional or a message. That branch is known as a ciphertext only message. I do not have any other thing, only ciphertext, which is always available. Next. Known plain text attack. For a ciphertext, given ciphertext or available ciphertext, I know what is the plain text. Okay. I know for this ciphertext, this is the plain text. I do not know the key. I do not know the encryption function. But I know these two are the pairs. Okay. When username is given, this is for username. This is for this one. I do not know what is function applied, what is the key used. Okay. Now, if these two things are available and you try to break the system, it is known as a known plain text attack. Next. Chosen plain text attack. Now, in known plain text, I cannot generate plain text. I have a ciphertext and I know this is the plain text. But I can choose my plain text and generate ciphertext. When it happens, say our hardware unit, which is encryption unit, it comes to you. It is part, it has been captured by enemy. They have this unit now. Okay. Now they can generate whatever plain text they want to generate. They can look at what is the ciphertext and try to correlate between the two to break either the encryption function or to find out the key. That is known as a chosen plain text attack. Next. Some security test. Now this cryptanalysis part, just to touch upon that. Differential cryptanalysis, which was given by Mr. Biham, generate large number of plain text with a constant difference. In a plain text, you have a constant difference between two, and generate ciphertext and find out what is the difference between the ciphertext. That will give you a differential cryptanalysis. Next, linear cryptanalysis, which was given by Mr. Matsui. Take linear combination of plain text and ciphertext and study. That is a linear cryptanalysis. Next, linear complexity given by Mr. Messi. This is typically used for a stream cipher. That given a cipher stream, you are given a cipher stream and you would like to generate it with shift register and feedback logic. You try to generate the same stream with a shift register design and a feedback logic. Then find out how many number of stages required to generate those. That is a linear complexity. Next. Some of the popular cipher algorithms. Next. Caesar cipher. This was during the World War used, known as a Caesar cipher. Next. We'll not go into details because of the time, this one. Transposition cipher. Next, you rearrange the bits, that is a transposition cipher. Next, substitution cipher, you substitute a bit with another one. Next, polyalphabetic substitution. You have a group of substitution matrix, from that you substitute. Next. Now these four were just a primitive level of what you can say cipher. Data encryption standard was the first one which came up with a good structure and a good security. Next, DES was there for large number of years, and because of the key, what you can say, key size limitations and which were computationally feasible to break DES, it was a new standard, advanced encryption standard came up. Next. This is the alternating generator, which is a stream cipher, where one generator output is utilized to clock another two generators. Output of one generator, if it is 1, then another one generator is clocked. If it is 0, then the second one is clocked, and those things, various ways of generating stream ciphers. Next. Next. Shrinking generator. It's also another kind of stream cipher. Next. Snow is also another stream cipher. RSA, very popular algorithm for a public key crypto system, which was named by Ravist, Shamir and Adleman. These are the three scientists who designed this or developed this. So RSA, L-Gamel crypto system is based on a discrete logarithm problem we explained. Next. IDEA is another cipher. Secure hash algorithm, SHA, is also very popular algorithm. Next. And nowadays, in the latest of this field is a elliptical curve cryptography. So people today talk about elliptical curve cryptography. Next. I've just explained DES. I'll not go into details of this because it takes time and it is available in any of the books. So we'll skip this. It's a standard developed by IBM for National Bureau of Standards, and that was used for many years by many applications. Next, we'll not go into details. It's a block cipher, symmetric crypto system. Next, next, next one. These are the structure of this algorithm. Next, next, we'll not go into this. This can be studied by you in any of the textbook. Next, examples I have given. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next. Next one. Now, data encryption standard, or for that matter, any good cipher which is generating a very large, very nice or randomized data output, that can be used in a different way. There are mechanisms to use this DES in a different way. One is the electronic codebook mode, secure transmission of single value. You have a single value, you just encrypt it with DES and transmit it. That is a single value transmission. You can use it in a chaining mode. cipher block chaining mode, general purpose block oriented transmission, and it can be used for authentication. Next, cipher feedback mode, general purpose stream oriented. Now you can utilize this random output as a very good stream of data also. That is the mode one can use. Output feedback mode is another version of this stream oriented transmission. And for a satellite channel where we need to apply some of the applications, our satellite channel is a noisy channel, so there will be errors introduced. So you would like to see that if errors is introduced in a ciphertext, whether it propagates or not, or how it can be handled. For that, output feedback mode is a better mode. Next. Just very quickly, chaining mode means there is a plain text, there is a key, there is an encryption function. You start with some initial vector, IV, and this output is generated C1. That itself works as an input to the next stage. Okay, C1 itself is an input to the next stage. So that you are chaining the output of first stage. That is known as a cipher block chaining mode. And similar way you can decrypt it in a similar chaining mode. That is the cipher block chaining mode. I do not want to go into much details of this. You may not understand right now totally. But just want to touch upon that these are the ways one can utilize a block cipher. Next. Cipher feedback mode. Okay. Now you have a initial vector of say B bits. You have an encryption function with some key. Generally what we have our mind that plain text is an input, key is an input and encryption function. Here that is not the case. Plain text P1 comes into picture at the later stage. Your encryption function takes key and some initial vector as an input. You generate a 64-bit output. Out of that, you are discarding few bits and you are mixing S bits with your P1. And this S bit, what has been generated, has been shifted to the initial IV and utilized there and put it there. And then next stage has been operated for P2. So this is what is a feedback mode, one can say. Okay, this is a cipher feedback mode. Now instead of taking from XOR output, if you take it from before XOR, then it is the output feedback mode. That is the next one. Next one, please. This just explained that this C1 has been utilized there. Next. It has been utilized there, shifted, and this has been utilized there. Next. Okay, next one. And you can decrypt in a similar way. Next. Output feedback you are tapping instead of output of the XOR there, you are taking before the XOR output, then it is an output feedback. Next. Now, as I told you, I have not explained DAS in details, but DAS was having found some weaknesses. There are some complements that if I have a plain text P and a key, I generate C. Then there were some sets where prime of P and prime of K, inverse of P and inverse of K was generating inverse of C. There were some key sets for which this was happening, not for all, for few. There were some weak keys where if you interchange P and C with the K, same key, it was happening. There were some semi-weak keys where for say two different keys K1 and K2, for a given plain text it was generating the same ciphertext, which should not happen. So there were some weaknesses known. Next. Okay, what happened over a period of time, people felt that key size which was relevant and not breakable with the brute force attack at that point of time was not valid, because this key size was easily breakable in today's world. Then what to do? You have to design a new cipher. But all of the systems were already having a DES hardware. They will reluctant to shift to the new one. So in that case, they found out we can use it in a double DES mode. Operate it 2 times with 2 different keys. So plain text P, encrypt it with K1, again encrypt it with K2. So you have a 2 key. Instead of 64-bit, now you have a 128-bit key. And you can still use DES. That was the filling. But it was facing a meet in the middle attack. Okay. Meet in the middle attack is for a known pair of plain text and ciphertext, there is an intermediate state in between, that if I operate on a P with first key EK1 And if I decrypt my C, which is also known, with a K2, and then make the, what you can say, list of it, then that means encrypt P for all 2 raised to 256 key, K1, decrypt C for all 2 raised to power 56 key of K2, then there will be a match in between for some particular, because it is part of this only. And this was also not acceptable. Next. So people try to use triple DES, but that size was too large for hardware to handle. So this was also dropped ultimately. Next. And before going to secret sharing, then there was a new algorithm designing started for advanced encryption standard. It was invited to many that you come out with your standard. There was a competition among them, and ultimately one advanced encryption standard was chosen, which is in use today. Okay, which is having a 128 to 192 and 256 bits of variable key size. So if today's 128 bits becomes unusable because of the brute force attack, you may choose to you can shift to 192 bit, or even you can shift to 256 bit without changing the encryption algorithm. Secret sharing, this is one of the aspects, say our nuclear key or atomic bomb key. It cannot rest with one particular person. Then there is a big threat. Now if it rests with say 10%, and if those 10% comes together, then only atomic key can be initiated. Then also there is a threat if one person says I will not give. What to do? Okay. So for secret sharing, what is required? Key for nuclear missile. Key K is divided into n parts, and each portion of key is given to n different person. Any S persons coming together within out of this N. So nobody can dictate you. Say one person is dictating, I will not reveal my key. Forget it. Others 9 are giving. Other people are giving me. My key will be made. So this kind of requirement also can be met by the cryptographic cipher system. Next. Okay, when I tell you that key distribution requires a secure channel, but typically, where will be a secure channel? Between Ahmedabad and Delhi, how can I have a secure channel? It will not be. So how to utilize the unsecure channel for distribution of your keys? Okay. So Diffie-Hellman key distribution is that. Say Alice and Bob, these are the two parties. They will choose Y and modulus P. These two numbers they will choose. Alice will do with his own private number A, which is not known to anybody else. Y raised to A mod P. Y and P known to everybody, even to the world. So Alice will find it out, Y raised to A mod P. A is his secret number. Bob will find out Y raised to B mod P. B is Bob's secret number, not known to anybody else. And private key will be Y raised to AB or Y raised to BA. Okay. These two knows each other's private number. So what Bob will do, what Alice will do, Y raised to A mod P with his own number. Once again, that number will be powered to B, which is Bob's number, Y raised to AB. And you cannot compute Y raised to AB from P, Y raised to N, Y raised to B, because Y raised to A is communicated on a channel. Y raised to B is also communicated on a channel, but finding out A or B out of Y raised to A is a discrete log problem, which cannot be, and that's why this kind of Diffie-Hellman key exchange you can work it. Next. Now coming to the satellite applications, some of the applications. Types of traffic in satellite channels is data or voice. It could be a short and busty message, or it could be a continuous message. Synchronous voice or asynchronous voice, those kind of traffic may be there. Next. Now, there could be random errors. Say in a computer system, you may not encounter all these kind of things. But when we are designing a system for a satellite-based system, there could be some random errors. There could be some burst of errors. Continuous few tens of bits are in error. There are some random bits in error. Whether my cipher or decryption will work. If it works, how many bits will be in error propagated to my plain text generation? At those things one has to see. Loss of synchronization. Say immediately because of some link is broken, will my cipher will work if I come back after some time. Say in computer domain, you assume that everything is fine. No, link is perfect. There is no problem. But here, you may have a loss of synchronization. If I lose the synchronization after few milliseconds or few seconds, if I come back, whether my cipher will work or not, I have to design cipher in a way that it should work in this case also. Encryption and decryption time taken for this. Those things are also important. Next. I'll just touch upon one of the communication problem some 20-25 years back, we designed these terminals. These are the short S-band terminals which can transmit a short message to the satellite and at the centralized hub station. From there it can be delivered either on a fax, on a telephone lines, those things kind of systems we developed. When we developed, there was a requirement from some of the paramilitary forces, some of the defense forces and paramilitary forces that we would like to utilize these terminals for our communication. Only thing is you need to provide us with a secrecy, with the encryption. At that time we started to work on a cryptography and we inbuilt data encryption standard at that point of time with these terminals, and those messages or secret messages were delivered to their hub stations. Next. That was a SATCOM problem. There are many other SATCOM problems we are handling now. Another one is a SATNAV problem. All you know GPS, Global Positioning System, known to everybody. There are many other global systems, Galileo system from Europeans, BIDU system from Chinese, GLONASS system from Russia. These all are global systems. India also came up few years back, ISRO came up with a IRNSS system. Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. Ours is a regional system. Okay. Nowadays it has been named as a NAVIC, Navigation with Indian Constellation. Our Prime Minister Modi gave NAVIC name. Instead of IRNSS, NAVIC is a better name. And Navigation with the Indian Constellation. So that was the name given. Now all this navigation system was started with a defense requirement. GPS has been developed and owned by US Department of Defense. Okay. Defense required to have a 24 hours very accurate 3-dimensional positioning for their missile program, for their ships, for many of the defense applications. It started with that. And all navigation system have two aspects. One is for a civilian signal. So for civilian, you have this signal, you use it. And they have a military signal for their own, which is not revealed to others. It is given to only authorized user. Whether you name it GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, BIDU, everybody has these two categories, and definitely NAVIC also has these two categories. So there is a civilian signal and there is a military signal. Now military signal requires all this various kind of cryptography, what you can say attributes to be there to protect it from, otherwise what happens, no? It can be spoofed. If my key is known to others or my algorithm is broken by other nation, then my missile, which is relying on my restricted service or a military service, will be spoofed by them, and our missile may attack our resources itself, which may happen and which had happened in war scenario. So we have to protect our military signal, and for that all these cryptography attributes what we have discussed required to be applied very cautiously. All key management, key generation, key distribution, algorithm development, all these things required to be done. I'll not go into much details of this space segment, ground segment, user segment. I will quickly go through it. Yeah, intended service is our Indian region and a 1500 kilometer beyond India. That is our regional system for navigation. Next. There are total 7 satellites. We are increasing it to now 11 and making it global also nowadays. Next. So these are satellites which are geostationary and geosynchronous. This is where it has been placed. Next. Another diagram just to show you. Next. Next, these are what ground system and other things for navigation required. Those things, so I'll skip those things. Next. Next. So, as I told you, there are 2 services. One is a standard positioning for civilian use. Another one is a restricted services for a special user use. Okay, next. So you're required to encrypt the code used for a restricted services. Next. You're required to, it's not a field of view, but correlation properties between, say, I'm not sure whether you're aware about CDMA, code division multiple access, where on a same frequency, you have multiple signals coming with a different code. Now, within this code, there should be a better correlation properties, otherwise our receiver trying to lock to one particular satellite signal will lock to the other one. And that's why you require to make it sure that your correlation properties after encryption is also equally good. Next. You need to change the key periodically. You cannot believe that my one particular key has been there forever. You need to change it periodically. It's to be made available at all remote RS receivers. Remote RS receivers will be in the field. Lakhs of these receivers will be in the field. All receiver need to change the key. So either you can provide over the air rekeying facility, or you have to have a key distribution mechanism which can be handled by the defense people itself. Next. So you need to have a key generation algorithm, you need to have an encrypted code algorithm and a key distribution mechanism. All these things you need to design, which we have designed at ISRO. Next. We have utilized the symmetric block cipher. And another thing, rather than going into all these things, you may not like it, but let me make you other things very clear. That generally what we feel, that if I design an algorithm, I will not reveal it to anybody, no? Say, I have designed the algorithm, I will use the keys, but I will not like to make it publish. My algorithm, I will keep it secret. But cryptography field, people feel that it has to be made public. Algorithm need to be made public. Only your security rests with the key only. Reason is, if you make it public, there is an academic like you people working on trying to find out weaknesses in the algorithm and publish it somewhere. So down the line you will come to know that there are some weaknesses in the algorithm, we require to change the algorithm. But if you don't publish your algorithm, there will be some inherent weaknesses not known to you because you have not published, and your enemy is already utilizing those weaknesses and breaking your cipher, which you will never come to know. So that's why cryptography community always believe that publish the algorithm. And our defense people always believe, do not publish the algorithm. They have not allowed us to use AES algorithm, which is already commercially published. So we have designed our own algorithm, which is never published, and that has to be certified by a defense authority, scientific analysis group, which is a DRDO lab. They will evaluate, analyze our algorithm and clear the algorithm. So we cannot use best available today's scenario AES algorithm because commercially published algorithm, defense never uses it. So we have to design our own algorithm which should be equivalent to the best available in today's scenario and get it cleared from DRDO lab, which has to be used, which we have already done. We have designed a new algorithm and get it cleared from the DRDO lab, and which we are using it. So I will not go into much of the details, you may not like it. Next. So these details are there. Next. Key distribution also wanted to take care in field. Over the air rekeying also we have provided via satellite data itself. We will be transmitting the next key in an encrypted mode which can be utilized by the receivers. Next. So these are some of the critical points. You have to provide tamper resistant hardware. My receiver comes into the enemy's hand, if they open it and utilize the key which is residing inside, that should not be allowed. So this kind of tamper resistant hardware you have to do. SAG certification I told you, that also we have taken. And all this loading procedures and other things is a very complex thing which we have already done. So that's all with me. Next. Thank you for this one. ઘણો શુષ્ક સબ્જેક્ટ છે, છતાં તમે આટલા શાંતિથી સાંભળ્યો એના માટે થેન્ક યુ. ઇટ્સ નોટ વેરી ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ ટુ ઓલ, બટ ઇટ્સ અ મેથેમેટિકલ થિંગ્સ, બટ સમ ઓફ ધ થિંગ્સ આર રિક્વાયર્ડ ફોર અવર ઓન implementation. So we were forced to work on it. Thank you.
See, one thing you have to understand in life, that whenever you listen to different speakers, subjects are different and interest in the subject that is also different. But someday something what has gone in your mind, you don't know when it will be payable. સરનો તો બહુ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ ટોપિક હતો. આઈ ટેક ઓનલી 1 minute and then your questions, those who want to ask about project management in IT or cryptography, you can have your questions. But I've been to one institution and it was a program about 150 years of Indian cinema. And the hall was with 200 people. It's one reputed hall or auditorium of Ahmedabad. When the speaker, sir, he has completed his talk, my one student, he forced me, sir, after the video. I said, because I like movie and normally everyone likes movie. So when his talk was over, me and my one student, that is Ravi Barot, Basu Mathema Bell audience. So I would like to congratulate you that even though the topic is dry, sir has done his best efforts and you are here. So today you give claps to yourself. But I'm sure you might have understood something from cryptography area, which is something different. Okay. Now coming to the question part.
સપોઝ કે હું કોઈ કંપનીમાં પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજર છું તો હવે મારે પ્રોજેક્ટ પર કામ કરવા માટે એમ્પ્લોયને હું કેવી રીતે કન્વિન્સ કરી શકું એવા કયા પોઈન્ટ
It is assumed that you are convinced to work on a project. So what convinced you to get on a project is number one that you have to bank upon, right? कि भाई if you want to prepare a team कि આ પ્રોજેક્ટ સારો પ્રોજેક્ટ છે તમે એના પર કામ કરો તો એની મેરિટ એનાલિસિસ જે તમે પોતે કરી હોય, right? Tell them, how it will make a difference in their life, how their role will make a difference in success of a project, why they are important, right? Why you need them. See, at the end of the day, everybody likes that recognition that, I am important and I am doing something worthwhile and important in this. So how their contribution is going to be important, how you depend on them and what kind of roadmap you see for them going forward is something you can, motivate them. There are, I believe in theory of a 3M. First you have to motivate person. Then you have to mentor a person. And then you have to monitor a person. So motivate them to contribute and they will be definitely yours.
If કોઈ બી માણસને એંગર ઇશ્યુઝ હોય અને શોર્ટ ટેમ્પર હોય તો એ માણસ પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજર બની શકે?
Anger is a negative energy in a say, but it's a very aggressive part of yourself, right? So if you can cultivate it in a right way, right, that એને તમે કન્વર્ટ કરો તમારી પેશન અને એનર્જીમાં, તો it's possible. It's about getting frustrated and screaming. That is not the solution to the project management. One thing I said is people skill is very important. So when you're working with people, it is important that you respect people, you understand people, and then you convince them to do things. એટલે એંગર મેનેજમેન્ટને તમારે પહેલાં પોતાની જાતને મેનેજ કરતાં શીખી લો તો પ્રોજેક્ટ મેનેજ થઈ શકે.
In the project management should be used for real estate agent in anyhow cases.
કોઈ બી ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં યુઝ થાય, કોઈ બી ડોમેનમાં યુઝ થાય. Now when you say for real estate agent, if you're talking about real estate agent માટેની IT application, so yes.
So for the business expansion.
If that is the business you are trying to pursue, yes, why not? But you have to think, there has to be, see, basic things are there has to be goal. When you think of a project, it has to have specific outcome. So what is your goal? Whatever business you might be doing, why real estate, anything. But if you're thinking that મારા બિઝનેસને 3 ગણો વધારવો છે તો મારે અને 3 વર્ષમાં વધારવો છે, so then you think of it as a project that what do I do now? What do I do next 3 months? What do I do next 6 months? Those are your milestones so that I can make it happen. અત્યારે મારે ટીમ હાયર કરવી પડે કે મારે માર્કેટિંગ કરવું પડે, એડવર્ટાઇઝિંગ કરવી પડે કે મારે કોઈ સર્ટિફિકેશન લેવું પડે, ટેકનિકલ નોલેજ લેવું પડે, whatever this thing is. So whatever your goal is, any goal can be broken down into the plan and can be handled as a project.
ક્રિપ્ટોગ્રાફીનું કેરિયર આજની તારીખમાં તો હોટ ટોપિક ગણી શકાય. સાયબર સિક્યોરિટી અત્યારે આપણે જોઈ રહ્યા છીએ કે દરેક જણા ફ્રોડનો ભોગ બને છે. ઇવન હેકિંગ અમારા ઇસરો ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ઉપર મલ્ટિપલ હેકિંગ એટેમ્પ્ટ્સ થયા છે. એટલે એનું કેરિયર તો ચોક્કસ બની શકે. આજનો તો આ હોટ ટોપિક છે. પણ તમારે એના માટે ઇટ્સ નોટ એન ઇઝી ટોપિક. પહેલી વાત તો એમાં મેથેમેટિકલ બેકગ્રાઉન્ડ ઘણું સ્ટ્રોંગ જોઈતું હોય છે. મેથેમેટિક્સ જો તમારો ગમતો સબ્જેક્ટ હોય, તમને ક્રિપ્ટોગ્રાફીનું ફિલ્ડ ગમતું હોય, કારણ કે આ મેં જેમ કીધું આ ડ્રાય છે. અમે તો ભણ્યા જ નથી ક્રિપ્ટોગ્રાફી, આ તો અમારી ઓફિસની જરૂરિયાતને કારણે અમે આ બધું ચાલુ કર્યું. તમને જો આ ગમતું હોય ઇન્હેરન્ટલી તો ચોક્કસ લઈ શકાય. અને એ હાથનો હોટ ટોપિક તો ચોક્કસ છે. તમે આજે કરશો તો આજના ડાઉન ધ લાઇન 20-25 વર્ષ સુધી એની જરૂરિયાત ચોક્કસ રહેવાની છે. એટલે કેરિયર ઓપ્શન તરીકે તમે ગણી જ શકો છો આને.
What is the difference between cybersecurity and cryptography?
Cryptography is a general term where cyber security, our satellite communication security, or for that matter your storage security, everything is a part of cryptography. Cryptography એ ફિલ્ડ છે, એને કારણે તમે સાયબર સિક્યોરિટી અચીવ કરી શકો કે બીજી ઘણી બધી વસ્તુઓ અચીવ કરી શકો. સો સાયબર સિક્યોરિટી ઇઝ વન પાર્ટ ઓફ ઇટ વિચ કેન બી અચીવ્ડ યુટિલાઇઝિંગ ધ નॉलेज ऑफ क्रिप्टोग्राफी.
जब अपने प्लेन टेक्स्ट को इंक्रिप्ट करते हैं तो उसमें की लगाते हैं. जब अपने उस की को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, अगर वो की अगर कोई और के पास चले गई जिसके पास नहीं जानी चाहिए, तो वो अपने मैसेज को देख सकता है, प्लेन टेक्स्ट को देख सकते हैं जो इंपॉर्टेंस है उसकी. तो वो प्रीवेंट होने से अपने किस चीज़ से रोक सकते हैं और अपने किस चीज़ से पता कर सकते हैं कि किसी और के पास वो की पहुंच चुकी है कि नहीं.
बहुत ही તમે જે કરો એ જેમ મેં કીધું, એક જે કીધું હતું કે યુટિલાઇઝિંગ ધ ઓપન ચેનલ, યુ હેવ ટુ હેવ અ મિકેનિઝમ ટુ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ કી. એક છે ડિફી હેલમેન કી એક્સચેન્જ, બીજું છે RSA અલ્ગોરિધમ. એ ટાઈપના અલ્ગોરિધમ વાપરીને તમે કી ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ કરો કે જે એન્ક્રિપ્ટેડ મોડમાં જ જાય. એટલે કી એઝ ઇટ ઇઝ ક્યારેય ન જાય, કી પણ એન્ક્રિપ્ટ થઈને જાય. તો બીજાની પાસે આવે તો એને ડિક્રિપ્ટ થઈ શકશે નહીં, કારણ કે એની પાસે એન્ક્રિપ્ટેડ કી મળેલી છે. એ કી તો વપરાવાની જ નથી, એને ડિક્રિપ્ટ કર્યા પછી વપરાય છે. એટલે એકચ્યુઅલી શું થાય છે કે તમારી મેઇન જે પ્લેન ટેક્સ્ટ છે એને એન્ક્રિપ્ટ કરવા માટે તમે જનરલી સિમેટ્રિક કી ક્રિપ્ટો સિસ્ટમ વાપરો છો, વિચ ઇઝ ફાસ્ટ ટુ વર્ક ઓન. બરાબર? પણ એની જે કી વપરાય એ તો સેમ વપરાય, એને માટે તમે ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ કરવા માટે એસિમેટ્રિક કી ક્રિપ્ટો સિસ્ટમ વાપરો છો. બરાબર? એટલે શું થાય, તમારી મેઇન વસ્તુ માટે તમે સિમેટ્રિક કી ક્રિપ્ટો સિસ્ટમ કે જેમાં સેમ કી વપરાય, પણ એ કી જે સેમ વપરાય છે એને ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ કરવા માટે તમે એસિમેટ્રિક કી ક્રિપ્ટો સિસ્ટમ વાપરો છો. એટલે એઝ ઇટ ઇઝ કી ક્યારેય ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ થતી નથી, એન્ક્રિપ્ટેડ મોડમાં જ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ થાય છે. ડિફેન્સની વાત કરું તો ડિફેન્સવાળા ક્યારેય રિવીલ કરતા નથી કે એ લોકો કઈ રીતે કી ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ કરશે. એ લોકો એમની પોતાની ફિલ ગન હોય છે, એમની પોતાની ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશન મિકેનિઝમ હોય છે, એ રીતે ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ કરે. તે જે વાત કરી કે તો કેવી રીતે ખબર પડે કે રિવીલ થઈ ગઈ છે કે નહીં. નાઉ દેટ ઇઝ વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ ટુ આન્સર. એના માટે લોકો કરે શું કે ટિપિકલી તમારી સિક્રસી જે છે અલ્ગોરિધમની અને કીની, એ ધારો કે મને એમ લાગતું હોય કે 6 મંથ સુધી તો બ્રેક નહીં થાય, તો તમે શું કરો કે 3 મહિને બદલી નાખો કી. બરાબર? વિધિન ધીસ પીરિયડ ઓફ ધીસ યુ ચેન્જ ધ કી ઇરિસ્પેક્ટિવ. તમને ખબર પડી છે કે નથી પડી ભૂલી જાઓ. અને અમને તો કહેવામાં આવે છે, આજે અમે જે ડિઝાઇન કરીએ છીએ સિસ્ટમ, કે અમારી આ નેવિગેશન સિસ્ટમ જેમાં અમે અલ્ગોરિધમ ડિઝાઇન કર્યું, તો અમને કહેવામાં આવ્યું છે કે એવરી ડે અમે કી ચેન્જ કરી શકીએ એવું પ્રોવિઝન કરીને આપવાનું છે તમારે. એવરી ડે ઇફ રિક્વાયર્ડ. રોજ એ લોકો કરવાના નથી. વોર સિનારીઓમાં અમે એવરી ડે ચેન્જ કરશું. અમે બ્રેક થઈ છે કે નહીં એ જાણવાની કોશિશ જ નહીં કરીએ, થઈ ગઈ છે એવું માનીને ચેન્જ જ કરી નાખશું. સો યુ હેવ ટુ ડિપેન્ડિંગ ઓન યોર એપ્લિકેશન, એની જરૂરિયાત કેટલી છે, એની ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ કેટલી છે, એ બ્રેક થઈ જાય તો એનું નુકસાન કેટલું છે, એ બધું જોઈને તમારે આખી મિકેનિઝમ ડિઝાઇન કરવી પડે છે અને કીને ચેન્જ કરવી પડે તો કરી નાખવી પડે છે. બાકી તમને કોઈ આવીને કહેવાનું નથી કે તમારી અમે બ્રેક કરી નાખી છે. દેટ ઇઝ ધ થિંગ.
I would request Soham to, and Smith and Soham, they are the, yes.